Nice.
So Eddie missed it clarifying for me. Z is the thing that I meant. Yeah. But anyways, as you were saying.
Nice. Okay, so we got Logec with the Roland, Lanz with of course, his Scarlet. Interested to see this Lance versus Lance gameplay. We see Lance looking to catch some dares, but getting punished for that. He's probably just going to utilize his weapon throws and try to catch them unarmed.
Yeah, we've got Lance Dittos happening for the first time. The first Roland we've seen since the Luxury and Lance on Scarlet here is kind of getting whipped around by Logec as a nice neutral play comes out. Recovery comes out as well. Lance finally finds a weapon toss, but no follow-up unarmed. Logec basically in white here as he finds that recovery, bringing Lance towards kill percent. A sidelight finally hits with another recovery into a bomb. Bomb goes up. Lance finds the weapon toss. Tosses. Oh, what? Dodges through that mine. That was...
I've done that before.
That was scary.
No, it's smart. It's cool. It's fun. But anyway, back to the rant, bro. Logec versus Lanz. Lanz in kill percent. They're both doing basically the same thing with the Lance, but Logec has just been positioning himself a lot better and actually landing the hits.
Yeah, now that he's got the sword, he's probably looking for those D-like combos to be able to get that finisher, and gets the Nair instead. Wow, that kills him off the top. Lanz a lot more damage than I thought.
Nice. So, Logec with a clean stock lead and Sir Roland defense. Just kind of flying around, bro. Having a fun time, playing around the shenanigan zone. Just waiting for Lance to misstep so that he can punish.
Downstick comes out. Logec looking for those Nairs, finds one. Weapon tosses are exchanged, but Logec wins out on it as he gets the dare into Nair, has the sword now. Still playing with this Lance against Lanz, and Lanz, well, lots of L words as Logec gets that ground pound. A nice Nair comes out as well. Logec looking for those down airs. Can't seem to find much more else, but he's got the lead, and the recovery secures as he puts Lanz into the orange.
Logec, Lance. Say that 3 times fast. We got a nice stock lead from Logec. He's looking to close out Lanz once again, but Lanz trying to get in there with that aerial game, using his Lance to punish Logec.
And Logec going for that down air on the recovery, but misspaces it, gets the down sig, but that's not going to kill up the top just yet, and Logec picking up the sword, puts up the side sig, but in the wrong direction, and Lanz gets that D-light!
I love that, I do that all the time, bro. I've been
and then Logec bumps his head!
That is the most satisfying thing to do.
He was so impressed by that maneuver that he ended up Zing.
Like here's like what he could have done, right? Like, most people, right, they would have caught that stomp, and since he was in red, they're not going to go for the Russian Mafia. They're just going to, hit him with a Sair or something, right? But Logec with that defense and where he was positioned on the map, the Sair probably wouldn't have killed. So what Lanz decided to do is he goes for the chase dodge recovery to just dunk him through the shenanigan zone, and that was beautiful. I love doing that. That's so much fun.
And now Lanz is trying to be able to bring himself back in this game. Nearly recovers to the bomb. Logec finding a neutral light is just taking complete control of this match. The ground pound interrupted by the weapon toss, but Logec has the mind, forces Lanz to recover beneath the stage. He gets the neutral light as a follow-up, chasing Lanz across the stage, avoids the down sig, tosses the Lanz downwards, goes for the down air read, and Logec sends him off stage. But, this is looking bad for Lanz. He gets ground pounded. He has to recover through the center. Logec's got the sword now.
Wow, Logec with a nice stock lead still, in the shenanigan zone, trying to bait Lanz, looks like, maybe?
I'm not quite sure what he's going for here as he puts out that end sig. He doesn't have Lanz into kill percent just yet. He doesn't have to go for any gimps in the center of the stage. I feel like that would benefit Lanz more than him, but he finds that down air. There's one. Sidelight also clips. Logec going in for that falling dare.
Yeah,
finds
he's baiting him for the dares. That's what he's doing. He wants to keep him in the center of the stage.
And it's working. He's getting damage off it, even if it's not a gimp. Falling Sair forces the dodge. Weapon toss comes up, but Lanz is in the orange, and now Logec looking for these downlight startups now. Does not punish. He does punish Lanz for putting up that side sig and gets the sidelight. Lanz recovers to the center of the stage. Down sig does not hit, but the second down sig does. That was so cool.
Yeah, that was pretty cool from both, right? Because like Lanz throws out that side sig, and then that down sig just clips underneath him, which was beautiful. Logec has found himself in kill percent, and that Gravy Cancel neutral sig from Lanz is going to kill. Stocks are even, but Lanz is nearing kill percent. Can't take much damage, or it's not going to look good for him.
Now the weapon toss comes out. Ground pound as well. Lanz has the hammer.
Yeah,
he's looking for a jumping Sair.
That's what he needs. And to play that shenanigan zone against Logec, he's better off with the hammer. Catches that neutral light that's going to rack up like, a nice, 30 damage almost. Good. Beautiful. But Lanz is in kill percent, looking to Sair back to the map and use a charge recovery to get back up, but it's not enough. He was too low. That game is going to go to Logec.
And now Logec taking game one. It was looking really one-sided at the start. Then I feel like Lanz figured out what he was doing, started crawling back into it, made it a lot more even. Towards the end of the match, Logec confirmed it, but I'm expecting a completely different match in Game 2.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I'm expecting to see a much closer performance.
So I'm very excited about that, as we're going to be having Logec and Lanz playing Game 2 pretty soon. The winner of that, well, assuming that Logic's able to win that, he'll be moving over to winner semis. Both players fighting to be able to move on throughout the winner's bracket to fight against, I believe, Memory. Yes, so Memory will be the opponent of the winner of this game. Dobrain and Nalakat are going to be fighting it off of winner semis on the other side, and we've got Game 2 coming up. No legend switches.
Pretty good. What went wrong there? Why did we stop banning maps?
They probably just had an issue with the striking. Sometimes they're like, oh, I wanted to choose this map. I didn't want to ban it, so they had to go back and reset. And they're just going to be like, you know what, let's just switch it up, agree on a map. We're going to Mammoth Fortress. They didn't want to deal with the stage striking system, and we're going to be going into Game 2.
Three, two,
Nice.
one,
Game 2. Expecting to see a much closer game, but that's yet to be determined. Gravy Cancel Disco coming out from Lanz. Has the Lance in hand. Uses the weapon toss to rack up some damage with an unarmed neutral light. But Logec responds with a Gravy Cancel neutral light, and that's going to even up the damage. Both players trading rather evenly, but he's stringing up with the Lance. He doesn't manage to catch that third down air, though, and that would have carried him across the map.
Nairs are coming out from Lanz, and you're just preventing Logec from getting the weapon that he wants. He knows that Logic's looking for the Lance himself, and he picks it up, puts out the signature and punishes the side stick, brings him to the orange, and he goes in for that chase dodge ground pound. Weapon toss comes out, another ground pound. Logec, avoids that disco with the recovery, and instead finds a D-Light Sarah. Logec now has the sword. Lanz out of a dodge, trying to avoid the swords of energy coming out from the ground, and Logec picking up the sword.
I feel like Lanz messed up a bit right there when he threw his Lance up. I think he meant to throw it straight up, and he threw it diagonally. If he had thrown it straight up, it would have worked out for him.
And now Weapon Toss comes out. Stop! Oh, he gets that recovery once again!
That's fun. I love it.
It's fun, and the Weapon Toss is even better, as that confirms the kill for sure. Lanz takes the lead in Game 2.
That's a great option take right there. Lanz does have the lead. He's in kill percent, but he's just, flying around, naring around, and racking up easy damage that's really not too punishable.
Finding that Weapon Toss in a neutral light. Lanz puts on another neutral light, try to ring the dodge in, instead finds a sidelight. Logec struggling to get any of the things that he got before as a recovery combo comes out into a neutral air. Logec finds his own nair, but Logec on Roland is in the orange.
It didn't hit, but he momentum dodged and then pivoted his nair right there, and that was beautiful. I like to see that.
Recovery comes out from Logec, but that doesn't kill just yet. Lanz making it look like he's a completely different player here, as he's trying to take a 2-stock lead over Logec. Goes in, waits out Logec's Sair as the hammer, just finding that opportunity, jumps in with a stomp, doesn't connect, avoids the down sig and jumps for the Sair. Both players spacing each other quite well. Someone trying to find the first move.
We expected to see a different game, and we are seeing a different game. Lanz is controlling this game, looking to 3-stock Logec. He's in the kill percent, but Logec is unable to find any, openings that lead to anything of force,
Yeah.
Like, he's just racking up damage, but he's not finding anything that's going to kill, and Logec is just abusing these weapon throws to get unarmed combos.
Yeah, Lanz is just running away with this game. Dive kick comes out, Logec looks for the ground pound, and the horn comes in, doesn't hit anybody, and the sidelight still doesn't kill Lanz, so heavily damaged, but it does. Oh no. Okay.
Oh, he's Z'd. But he can afford that.
Yeah, of course.
We take those. I wanted a fresh stock anyway.
Absolutely.
So he's gonna grab the weapon. He finds a hammer. He's gonna rack up the throw combos, very bread and butter, but he doesn't pick up his weapon fast enough, and that's gonna put him at a weapon deficit. Logec is looking to take advantage of that, but that Valkyrie is gonna hold him back.
And now jumping up with the Lanz, finds that downer, tries to chase it off with another downer. Nair comes out, Lanz playing with his weapon, goes in for that GC side stick to get back on stage. Logec trying to find a neutral light to start it up, but he's just getting tossed aside. Now in the red, Logec finds a neutral light, but Lanz just like, alright, I'm ready. Stop combo into recovery. He jumps into a bomb!
Just lobs it, you know what I'm saying? No force behind it, like, let's just toss it out so it comes out real slow. That's hard to avoid, hard to dodge, because, like, you're used to stuff kind of flying at you, and when it comes real slow like that, it confuses you. Gets that side sig. Lanz getting zoned.
I think
He's
this might be
getting
the
zoned,
stock.
and it's looking like he's gonna get killed. I think that might do it. Yep.
Wow, so
All right,
Logic with a great side stick punish on that jump. That edge guard would not have worked if he did not catch Lanz out of all of his jumps already. And 2 Sares is able to confirm it. Logic evens it up 1-1.
Yeah, he does a great job, and he's comboing into his recovery, which is also a really good
Oh
thing to do.
no. Logic is just running with it. Sare doesn't kill. 8 defense
uses
helping
the
Logic a
dodge.
lot.
Uses the dodge to stay alive. Lanz could have punished off that. However, he does get the neutral signature, and he's going to take game 2. Nice.
This is so odd because what we just saw happen in that game there was like the opposite of what we saw in game 1.
Yes,
right?
it was like polar opposite.
Lanz had the lead the entire time, and then Logic started finding his way back in. Game 3, I have no idea what to expect. Logic saying, give me a minute, maybe...
It could really go either way. Like, I expected Lanz to tighten up on his game and have a much tighter game 2, just like we saw. I expected that. But now that they've both done that to each other, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I have no idea what to expect in game 3 either.
Right, and I don't believe Logic's going to switch to any legends. I've seen him on other things throughout tournaments when he's experimenting, but I bet Roland's going to be the thing that he sticks with all the way through.
I imagine he'll stick to that.
It's very cool to consider how many Scarlet players we actually have in today's tournament. We've got Zaichu, we've got Lanz, and we've got Baki. I think it's the most represented legend in regards to mains that we have throughout the entire bracket.
Scarlet is arguably,
Well, I mean,
in my opinion, one of the best legends.
It's a very strong legend, and not to mention Lanz, just in general, is favored very highly in Europe.
You've got the massive weapon hitboxes, right? So for weapon throws, right? And you've got the massive force in the stat area to begin with, then the massive force coming out from Hammer, and not to mention if you compare Scarlet to say a legend like Bodvar, both very balanced, evenly stat distributed champions. Scarlet has basically the same stats as Bodvar. Besides, I believe she has maybe 1 less defense or 1 less dexterity and 1 less movement speed. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then those 2 extra points go into the force. And I feel like she's definitely a really strong legend. Really good legend, really good signatures.
And she's being showcased quite a bit today at this EU Invitational tournament. As we're going into Game 3, this decides who moves on to semis. Logic picks up the Lanz, tosses it off stage, immediately opens with recovery, and Lanz gets a dive kick Nair himself. Both players trading unarmed damage here, and Lanz winning out.
Absolutely. He does have the damage lead so far. Logic is catching sidelights, but he's not getting any combo starters. And Lanz was just looking to abuse him with hammer nairs.
Now Logic finding that sidelight reads Lanz's approach and puts a little bit of damage on the Lanz, but a sidelight from the sword alone is not going to do a whole lot, and Lanz bringing up the down sig stops Logic from getting in on the ground and starts traveling across the air with some Lance aerials.
I feel like both players are thinking through their approaches much differently in this game. Lanz with a beautiful Gravy Cancel end sig, and it clipped, sent Logic flying. Logic's in the orange now.
Ooh, the
Nice.
GC down sig.
Down sig. Oh my god, Lanz is just pulling out these beautiful reads.
And now the downers are coming out. He's looking for these Sares as well. Jumps in. A stomp Sare will probably do quite a bit. He charges up that side sig, avoids the weapon toss, but Logic just punishes with an unarmed Sare, and Lanz dodging past him, not looking for any moves that'll get him punished, and Logic finds that D-Light down air. Ensign comes out, but Lanz struggling to find the KO. Probably wants to go for a weapon toss at this point. 2 nairs.
Nice.
Lanz, he's looking too hard for the kill with a Sare.
Yeah, Lanz has got to just play a little bit more patiently, and Logic is coming out with these filthy reads himself now. Nice Gravy Cancel signatures from both players. Both players are in kill percent, and Lanz runs into that down sig. That's going to kill and give Logic the stock lead, and with this defense, he can hold on to it for a minute.
A minute, maybe 10 seconds. Logic.
Maybe 10 seconds, maybe a minute.
Oh.
The ground pound comes out, the Gravy Cancel side sig comes out. Nothing's killing yet.
And Logic avoiding these weapon tosses and the mine. Lanz is struggling to get the KO, but the end sig,
Nice.
well, a little overkill, but it will do. As long as it hits, it works. And now it's evened up 2-2.
2-2 for sure. Lands with the weapon advantage, but gets hit by that neutral air into neutral air.
Yeah, Lanz looking for that weapon toss. Tosses it down twice in a row, just going it right below and above him, making sure to stay vertical with these weapon throws. He's able to get his weapon back after he does, whether or not he lands it or doesn't. And there's a nice neutral air follow-up. Lanz looking for that weapon toss in the air once again, but instead does a neutral light. It doesn't hit, and Logic goes in for that end sig and gets punished. Lots of unarmed.
They're trading evenly, but I feel like Lanz has, you know, the defense deficit, so
Right.
he's in the orange. That's not good.
Well, not to
good at
mention
all.
that a lot of Lanz's trades are coming from his fists, and it doesn't matter how much force you have. Typically, when you're fighting with your fists versus a weapon, you're going to be doing less
Right.
damage. And a D-Light Sayer sends him off stage as the even trading is gone completely. Lanz falls to his death.
Yeah, wow. Logec with the clean stock lead is looking to take the set.
Now Lanz avoids all weapons because of Logic's denial. Now, it's a D-Light downer. Logec goes for that sidelight reset, not finding those D-Light dare strings that he was able to find in previous tournaments, but still getting the damage
Nice.
regardless. And a nice dare and a sidelight comes out. Lanz, playing with the Lance, goes in for that downer. Nice neutral lights are coming out. Lanz trying to be able to crawl back into this game.
Absolutely. He's gonna have to play flawlessly though to take out a Roland stock, and then twice, you know.
Right,
But
and that's not
Logec is-
happening. He's already in the orange.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's going to happen. Logec, while he is taking damage and trading quite evenly, that's gonna benefit him because he's got the stock lead. Also, that Sayer is going to put Lanz in a position to get punished with another Sayer, and nope,
Ooh.
ground pound doesn't connect, but it doesn't need to because Logec just took that game with 2 stocks.